For the last 35 years, WHYY's Radio Times has been the go-to place for in-depth interviews with everyone from international newsmakers, entertainers, and everyone in between. But the iconic show is winding down because its longtime host has decided she's ready for a change. Joining me now is the host of Radio Times, Marty Moss-Coane. Thank you so much, Marty, for being with us today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
This is a special time in your life. You get the choice to shift. What does that shift look like for you?
Well, I'm obviously in the process of shifting. I still have a couple more weeks on Radio Times before I put the whole thing to bed. Then I'm going to catch my breath, and then I'm going to work on a weekly show that's going to debut in January. But it's a poignant time. I'm bittersweet. This was my idea, but at the same time, it's also my baby.
Sure. Who's
35 years old and, sort of ready to move out into the world. So it's a wonderful time. I've had such a wonderful run, but it is time to
I mean, you're talking about, what, 2 hours a day for 5 days a week, and that's a lot of homework, day in and day out. What are you most proud of with your show?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I actually did the math as I was taking the train in today. It's 15,000 in-depth, long-form, hour-long interviews over the last 35 years. So, wow. And what I love the homework part, the preparation part.
Sure.
I was never a particularly good student, so all the homework I didn't do in high school, I'm now spent the last 35 years doing. And then, of course, when you're on the air and you can connect with someone and you feel like there's a chemistry and an energy and you can just take off. To me, that's what it's all about.
Marty, 1987, you've had international newsmakers and through so many chapters of this country and this world and this city. Any favorite guests, favorite memories that you just want to revisit as you look back?
Yes, I'm doing a lot of looking back, and I do remember, this was years and years ago, Wilt Chamberlain was on the show, who grew up in West Philadelphia, as we know, and for some reason, he was already sitting down when I came into the studio, and I went in to shake his hand, and he just kept going up and up and up. But he was charming, and Jane Fonda was charming. But also some of the people that you've never heard of before that are just fun to talk to.
And you had a chance to really highlight who they were as well. So, okay, without stealing too much of the thunder of the final show, can you tell us a little bit about what you want your radio audience to know about you before you sign off and about that last big show?
Well, it's been a pleasure and an exciting time to be on the radio and to have no radio experience before I went on the air, which is kind of incredible when you think about it. So for me, just being able to connect with our listeners and to know there are shows where you feel like all that work that went into it, they got it. They experienced it. It was real for them as it was for me. So I thank our listeners for that.
I'm looking through all the pictures throughout the years and just the people that you've had on. Look at this. Absolutely special. Well, guys, Marty Moss-Coane is not done yet. Anything that you want to tell us about the new show? Any hints?
I'm still working on all the details of it, but I have a name. It took me about a year to come up with a name, but it's going to be called The Connection.
The Connection.
And it's going to be a weekly show, and it's going to be a much more psychological show, which is kind of my roots, about how to live a good life, how to be a good person, how to be a good friend, the meanings, the mysteries, the possibilities in life. So in the next couple of weeks, once I get off of this train, I will start thinking about that one.
Maybe take a trip somewhere and refresh.
I would like to do that, yes.
Marty Moss-Coane, thank you so much for being with us today. Absolutely. And enjoy the last few weeks. I know, when's the big day?
Friday, November 19th.
There you go. All right. For more information about Radio Times and the legendary host, make sure you tap the NBC 10 app and then head over to NBC10.com/findItOn10.